Good morning, kindergartners. I hope you had a good weekend. I miss you and I wish we were still in school together, but I thought I would bring you a little bit of science today. I've been observing the eggs that came to my house last week and keeping track of them and taking care of them, and I wanted to teach you a little bit about what's happening with them. So where do you think these eggs came from? Yes, they came from chickens, and in particular they came from a mama hen, and then they were fertilized by a rooster, and then they came to me. And I think you know, but I will remind you that the eggs, the mama hen does not just like leave her eggs all over the place. She takes care of them, and one of the ways she takes care of them is she keeps them really close to her body. So she keeps them right underneath her almost the whole time that they're in the egg, and her body is warm. So while she's keeping them underneath her, she's keeping those eggs nice and warm, and her body also has moisture, so the air around the eggs is humid, which is a kind of a big word. We can say it together, humid. It has 2 syllables. We can clap it, humid. And that means that there's a little bit of moisture or water in the air. And that's important for the eggs too. And then she does another really important thing for her eggs, is every once in a while she kind of moves them around or rotates them to make sure that each side is getting a little bit of time closer to her body. And they're shaped in this very special way so that even though she's sitting on them, she does not hurt them in any way. They don't break, so they stay nice and safe underneath her body. So I do not have a mama hen inside my house, but I have another special tool that is not as good as a mama hen, but it will also keep our eggs nice and safe. And that is called an incubator. And you can see the incubator right down here. It's this big white square, and it's plugged in, and it's plugged in because it keeps the eggs nice and warm. I also put a little bit of water in there to make sure that the air stays nice and humid. And I'll show you in a second, but there's also a special little tool inside of there that rotates the eggs a couple times a day, so they go like back and forth, back and forth. So I just want to remind you, this is called an incubator. Can we say that together? Incubator, and we can clap it out. Incubator. That has 4 syllables for this special tool, the incubator. So now I want you to take a look at some of the data I've already collected while these eggs have been in my house. So right here it says our chicks, it says days incubated, so that's how many days they've been inside the incubator. And then it says days left. That means how many days it will take for them to hatch into chicks, because it takes them 21 days usually, which is 3 weeks, 21 days. So we're gonna see how many days left, and then we're keeping track of the temperature, how warm it is in there, and the humidity, how moist the air is, or how much water there is in the air. So the first day that they were in there was on Thursday, so that was day 1. And then once they were in there were 20 days left, and it was 100 degrees in there, and it was 45% humidity. Then on Friday, it was 2 days, 19 days left, 99.5 degrees, which is very close to 100. That's good. That's what we want it to be. It's very close to what our body temperature is supposed to be too. And then 40% humidity. On Saturday, it was the 3rd day, day 3. There were 18 days left, 99.5 degrees again, and 40% humidity, which is good. And then yesterday was day 4, and there were 17 days left, back to 100 degrees, and 37% humidity. So the humidity went down a little bit. So we might need to check to make sure the humidity hasn't gone down more and we don't need to add a little more water. So right now I'm gonna get a marker and I'm gonna look at my incubator. Now I'm gonna grab the camera so you can see it a little closer and move you, move you right over here so you can take a close look at the incubator, and hopefully you can see that. And it says, I'm gonna put you back. Sorry if that was a little bumpy ride. Hopefully you saw that it says, well, we know, so if yesterday was day 4, today is day 5. Yes, one more day, 4 plus 1 equals 5. And then if yesterday we had 17 days left, we're gonna take 1 away. So we're gonna go down to 16 days. So the eggs have been in the incubator 5 days. They have 16 days left to stay inside. And now we're gonna check the temperature. Maybe you saw it. It says that it's 100 degrees right now. So I'm gonna write 100. 1, 0, 0, and then this little dot means degrees. That's the measurement. Now, it says that there's only 24% humidity. So I'm gonna write that. 24%. But that is way lower than it was before. So I think we need to add a little water. So I'm going to very carefully open up my incubator, put the top right next to it. I have a little glass of water, and I want to carefully do this so I don't get the water on the eggs, because the water will be really cold. So I'm going to pour it into the side, and I don't need a lot. I'm just going to pour it into each side, and then I'm going to put the top right back on so the eggs stay nice and warm. And in a few minutes I'll double check that that was enough water to make the humidity go up and that the eggs are still nice and warm. Now I think I'm going to take some time to do a science drawing, because I really want to have a picture and writing of what my eggs look like when they're in the incubator.